Yay, I'm back. Happy Friday. Welcome back to Friday Night Live. And I got on a little early today. Aren't you impressed? It's my sister's birthday, so I need to rush on out and go celebrate her big day and have fun with family, for which I'm very, very grateful. And it's something that's, family's a big part of my life, and yep. That's where a lot of my heart is, and so I'm very thankful that my family is here in the Bay Area so that I get that opportunity to be able to visit and be able to celebrate birthdays when they come along. And so I'm in the spirit of gratitude. I'm in the spirit of giving and the spirit of receiving too. Hi Lonnie, you made it. Yay! Thumbs up for Lonnie and Donna too. I'm so tickled by a lot of the receiving. People gave to me yesterday in ways that were really surprising and fun, and it was fun. And I wanted to talk about that because I also want to talk about the result of that. So I was completely taken aback, and it was just so sweet. My friend Bernadette, you know, I had complimented her because, and you've heard me maybe mention Bernadette before. Well, she teaches local anesthesia at our dental school, and she wrote an article. She co-wrote an article that got published, and I ran into her on Thursday, and I congratulated her, and I said, God, you know, I need to ask you something about what you wrote in your article. And she goes, yeah. And I said, yeah. And so I asked her about that product that she was writing about. And by the way, get this, there's ways of getting the front teeth numb with no needles. So that's part of what she was writing about, is that there's a way of becoming anesthetized or numbed through a nasal spray. So if you're okay with getting, you know, a nasal spray of anesthesia for some of the top front teeth, well, that's what part of what she wrote about, and that's what I was asking her about. And she said, oh, you want to try some? And I was like, sure. And she goes, let me just give you a box. And she gave me a whole box. And then she stopped what she was doing later on when I was with my students in the clinic, and she found me, and she took the time to show me how to use it. And she was very, very generous with giving that to me, which was so awesome. I was like, wow, that was out of nowhere. All I did was I asked a question, you know, because I wanted to learn. I wanted to learn. It was for my own curiosity and for my patients' well-being. And I thought, wow, if I can introduce a new product that's comfortable, wouldn't that be great? So I thought that was really great. And so, you know, that just put a little skip in my step. And then we had our dinner break. So within an hour, okay, so we had a class during our dinner break. And then I'm at my locker getting ready for the night clinic session. And then one of my other friends, Dr. Rutzer, sees me and he goes, hey, he said, do you need some of blah, blah, blah? And I was like, sure, because you know what? It was on my mind. Like, I'm like, I should look that stuff up and buy some. Like, he keeps lecturing about it. We use it at the dental school. It would be good for me to have it here in my office. And he goes, you know, I've got a whole bunch of this stuff. And, you know, we can't use it at the school anymore. And I can't think of a nicer person to give it to. So let me give you some. And I was like, okay. Hi, Kevin. And so he didn't just give me that which he mentioned. He gave me all this other stuff. He's like, you know, we can't use this at the school right now. It's really, really good. And he just gave me quick explanations about how to use it and what it's useful for. And I was just like, like my lunch bag was overflowing with dental products to bring home. This has not happened before, right? And so I was just tickled by that. I just thought, how neat is that? You know, just people just thought to give this stuff to me, and I could make use of it. It'll be good for my patients too. And so, you know, on my drive home, I make the calls that I normally do, and I arrived to my doorway after parking the car. Lonnie, you didn't hear this. You didn't hear this part. Okay, so after I got off the phone with you, because I call Lonnie's on Hawaii time, so after my parents, and I get a chance to talk to Lonnie, so I get company while I'm on my drive home from school. Park the car, walk up to the house, and right in front of the door is this big bag of fruit, fresh fruit, like plums and nectarines and pears, and then there's these two gigantic cauliflower bunches, you know, and there's no note. It doesn't say who gave it to me, so if you're watching, thank you. I don't know who gave it to me. I have some suspects, you know, some neighbors. But wasn't that the nicest thing? Like, that was so sweet. And so anyway, I just thought, well, I'll bring it to work. And so one of my assistants really liked cauliflower, so she got to take those, and we just spread the produce, spread the summertime fruit, which was fun. And so, I just think it's important to shed light on these experiences that I had, and I'll tell you why. It's a practice that I do whenever I can. Maybe you've heard of Abraham Hicks, so I'll listen to, and I'll watch on YouTube, or I'll listen to recordings every now and then. I know, right? It was a great surprise, Kevin. And they'll talk about when you focus on the things that you want more of, like you want to attract more good things in your life, then you start telling the story, right, about abundance. Lonnie says, so well deserved. Yes, you start talking about the abundance in your life. So even if at the very moment that you're thinking, you're having to train yourself to think about the positive things, the abundant things in your life, if at that moment you're not feeling that great and you're in lack, you're like when I arrived to work, I thought that I was going to be all set to go with for this one patient of mine. And I received a call while I was at school yesterday. Hey, the package arrived for you. It's in my office. Just get it from my office. It's my next door neighbor, on Friday. And I was like, perfect. All the wheels are turning the way that they need to. The lab got what they needed to get to me on time. And I go next door to get the package, and it's not what I thought it was. So here we had a 9 o'clock patient who was coming for a front tooth to, smile well, and the part didn't arrive from the lab. And so that was stressful. And I had to go instantly into like thinking mode. Okay, what do I do? Who do I need to call? Are we going to be able to see her? What does the rest of my schedule look like? I know she drives from far away. It's an inconvenience. All this stuff started going in my head, and I had to get into action mode. And the lab did what they needed to do. We did what we needed to do, but the delivery company didn't do what they needed to do. All right. So that was stressful, and we made do, and the patient showed up because it was too soon to even give her a call. Like, we just didn't know, like, was the truck around the corner? Was it going to get it to us? She was really understanding. She was really patient about it. Oh my gosh, like that right there just made me feel so much more at ease, because I worried on her behalf. Like, I felt bad, Anyway, sometimes things happen that way. And so if I had gone through the rest of my morning, and then the next person canceled, and oh gosh, and now we're just not doing anything, and then we're going to get slammed, and that's too much. It's too much to have that kind of burden, to keep thinking that way. So when my next patient arrived, part of what I made sure to do was to talk about all these cool gifts that I received yesterday. Unexpected. And I started feeling more picked up. And she was kind of laughing about it, and she was telling me some good things. And so this circle of goodness starts happening, so that everything starts falling into place. And ultimately, it all worked out. FedEx delivered while late. We still received what we needed. My patient was able to come later in the afternoon. Someone else was willing to come earlier to create more space so that I could see the 9 o'clock patient at that time. And it just pulled together. And I believe that had to do with a willingness on everybody's part to go with the flow. And part of what helped me go with the flow was to remind myself of all the good things that are happening. And that's why I started off my storytelling with you tonight about having received all those gifts unexpectedly, because it just made me feel so happy. I felt so special. And I was thinking about it. It's like, they didn't need to do that. None of them needed to do that. They could have held on to them for themselves. They could have given it to anybody else. And instead they chose me. Like, I happened to be at the right place at the right time with them. And I loved it. I welcomed it. I received it happily. And so I want to encourage you to think of all the things that are going well for you in your life, so that you can find yourself at the right place at the right time to receive good things. And pay attention to how that makes you feel like giving even more. So that's the other part, is like this circle of goodness that happens, this cycle that happens, is that when you're receiving, you're being given to, it's like it inspires you to be even more generous and giving in return. It doesn't even have to be in return to that person, but you find yourself doing that to somebody else, and you start expressing your gratitude to them even more, and everyone feels good, and you start noticing a lot more laughter in your world. And don't we all need more laughter in our world? So I want to leave you with that, and I want to thank you so much for tuning in again tonight. And definitely, you know, you can watch on the replay here on my Facebook page. I also post on YouTube, so you can subscribe to my YouTube channel or recommend that to someone who's not on Facebook. Otherwise, please like my page if you haven't already, and you can recommend to others to do that too. You can share this video and leave some comments, because it's fun getting that engagement and having that conversation. Kevin says, I think the customer deserved the fruit basket. Oh, you're right. You're right. I didn't think of that. I had already like kind of given it to my employees, and it was in a paper bag. But you're right. Okay, next time I could do something like that next time. But you know what I did do for her is I did do a little extra work on one of her other teeth, because it was looking like it needed something, and I just gave that to her. I didn't charge her anything. So thanks for joining, Lonnie. Thank you for all of your support. I'm glad that you feel it's a beautiful message, and look forward to seeing you all next week, and have an awesome weekend. All right, take care. Talk to you later. Bye.